I love you more. I love you most.
Yeah! Apologies for any background noise in this video. Some parts were filmed on the 16th of February, which is the day it's going to be posted, and it is a storm, so there might be a lot of rain and thunder in the background. Hello and welcome to episode 29 of the Decent Wrestling Show. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and check out my friend's channel. I'll put a link in the description for it, but its name is 7S3V3N, and check out his stuff. Also check out my latest stuff on my YouTube channel that I've recently posted, which is the two retro reviews. They are Iofa Valkyrie MV and Mamina Shirakawa MV. Please go check them out and tell me your thoughts on them and leave a comment on them. And enjoy this show. NXT 2.0 and NXT UK, my two favourite shows. I absolutely adore these shows. And another brilliant episode of NXT 2.0. I just can't stress how much I love this show. Everything just works on it. Just the way the segments bleed into each other and the stories are played out through the nights and the weeks. And then NXT UK, I love their formula. It works every week and it's enjoyable. These shows are just the easiest to sit through and I absolutely adore them. Just love them so much. So, NXT is getting to what happened. We opened with the semi-finals of the Dusty Cup. The grizzled young veterans took on the Creed brothers. Go out of your way to check this match out. The Creed brothers were super over here and they had a brilliant match and their best match of their young careers against the grizzled young veterans. I gave it 4.25 stars. This was brilliant. I believe Brutus Creed is the one who got slingshotted into the metal underneath the apron. But lucky he got his revenge later. There was an awesome superplex. So Julius jumped from the ring to the top rope and hit a superplex on one of the grizzled young veterans. Really cool spot and the crowd was electric for it. Great back and forth. Both these teams looked amazing in this one. Great heel work from grizzled young veterans and great babyface played from the Creed brothers. And Brutus Creed eventually got the victory, getting his revenge for early in the match. So a nice circle of a story there. Excellent match, excellent opener. We then had Wendy Chu taking on Tiffany Stratton. Solid squash match. Wendy Chu shouldn't be a main eventer, but it should just be a fun, nice mid-card act. And Tiffany Stratton picked up the W here with a nice new move. So she went to the second rope, and you know sometimes they do just like a splash from the second rope as they're facing into towards the ropes and they hit a splash. She did a twisting one, so a twisting splash from that, which looked very, very cool. Dakota Kai then backstage made fun of Wendy Chu for losing, so that set up that. Then we had a segment backstage between Joe Gacy and Draco Anthony. Joe Gacy saying that Draco doesn't have to do this alone. Then cut to a backstage promo from Pete Dunne talking about his match with Tony D'Angelo next week. Draco Anthony, his opponent for tonight, came in and tried to show respect for Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne was having none of it. This led to Pete Dunne and Draco Anthony having a solid 6-minute match, 2.5 stars. Good little match. Great storytelling with Joe Gacy standing on the balcony. So it looks like Draco Anthony could be paired with them, which is sorely needed because Draco Anthony on his own is kind of boring. So I like that he's getting some bit of character there. Pete Dunne picked up the victory even after Tony D'Angelo tried to interfere. He tried to interfere like 2 or 3 times and failed each time. But his hat remained on, which was really cool. Shawn Michaels would be jealous of that. And after the match, Pete Dunne announced that the match next week at Vengeance Day will no longer be a cage match. It will be a weaponized cage match. I'm actually hoping Tony D wins, to be honest. But either one wins, it's going to be a great match. And great stuff from both of them. We then had L.A. Knight taking on the big dude, the big bodyguard Sanga. And that's actually decent stuff. Sanga looked enormous in this match. He was giant. He had a funny mustache as well. Decent stuff. Grayson Waller exposed a turnbuckle, but that led to Sanga's downfall as LA Knight picked up the victory. And then there was a fight with LA Knight and Waller afterwards. LA Knight got the better of Grayson Waller here tonight. Then backstage, Grayson Waller was unhappy with LA Knight and said that next week he's not challenging LA Knight to a match, but he's going to be arrested live on NXT. Next up was a segment between Bron Breakker and Santos Escobar as they did the contract signing for their match the following week. Bron kept it short and sweet and then said, well, let's just fight already because that's how all these signings end. Before anything could happen, Dolph Ziggler made an appearance. Yes, that's right, Dolph Ziggler made an appearance. And yeah, he got a good pop from the crowd. He cut a promo on Bron Breakker setting that up. He listed off all his accolades. Great stuff from Ziggler here. Then Tommaso Ciampa came out. Yeah, this is awesome stuff. And he called Ziggler kid. Said, I think Ziggler and Ciampa will happen. And Ziggler picks up the victory and then puts over Bron Breakker. I could see that happening. That would be huge for Bron. And it's really cool to see Ziggler in NXT. And this was awesome stuff all round. Then there was a big fight and Bron Breakker got put through the table after beating up Santos's goons. But they did come back and he got put through the table, as I previously mentioned. That's going to be a banger of a match next week. Saray took on Dakota Kai. 2.5 stars. Solid little match. Saray picked up the victory. I think she had pink highlights in her hair now as well. Or pink extensions or something, which looked cool. And another victory for Saray, which is always awesome to see. And yeah, decent match and a nice big win for Saray over an established star like Dakota Kai. We then, as mentioned earlier with Wendy Choo and Dakota Kai, Wendy Choo now made fun of Dakota Kai because she lost. I really enjoyed, Deke Hudson did a backstage promo about Dante Chen, who's not shown up this week. He then wished good luck only to Indy Hartwell next week for their title match. We then got backstage in Persia and Indy. Persia was quite upset that Duke only wished Indy well, and Indy said, see, I told you that Duke's just a toxic person. Speaking of toxic attraction then came in and set up some drama as they showed a photo of Indy Hartwell with her friend Duke Hudson. I guess best friends don't tell each other everything. Really nice drama and seeds planted there, really excellent stuff. There was a fight between all 4 of them backstage then. Other semi-final, MSK took on Idris Enofe and Malik Blade. 3.5 stars. Very good match between these two. MSK are just absolutely brilliant. I love them as a tag team. So much energy and so much great chemistry. And Enofe and Blade took their opportunity and they took it well. They had a really good match and good showing. MSK did pick up the victory as you'd expect, but very good stuff. We then had some really good video package for Cameron Grimes and Mello. I really loved the interaction between Mello and Trick. They're very funny. They showed like, here's all Cameron Grimes' accolades on Wikipedia, and then passes it to the Trick and goes, "There's nothing there. There's no accolades." You go, exactly. Great stuff. The main event was Mandy Rose defending her title against Kaylee Ray. Early in the night, also must mention, early in the night, Zoe Stark and Io Shirai had a backstage segment where Zoe pleaded Io to get a new partner. Io knew who to get, but didn't tell Zoe. This led to this main event, Mandy and Kaylee Ray. Pretty good match, 3.25 stars. Good performance from both of these ladies, but they didn't get too much time or a proper finish as there was some interference, which led to Mandy Rose picking up the victory and retaining her title. They were beating down Kaylee Ray after the match, but Io Shirai came out and made the save, meaning we're getting Io and Kaylee Ray tag team, which would be really cool. Really great episode of NXT 2.0 as usual, and also very happy that Mandy Rose retained because Mandy Rose has been brilliant, and this was probably one of her best matches. Really enjoyed it, and I just wish that she got a proper ending in this match. NXT UK, Amale took on Nina Samuels, 2.25 stars. I don't really care about Amale, but NXT UK needs more Nina. We then were meant to have Supernova Session Season 2, but it was taken over by Gallus Boys on top. Pretty funny stuff with them and Jordan Devlin, setting up 3 feuds there, setting up Joe Coffey, who's actually very short, so he can't really call Noam Dar a wee man. setting up their Heritage Cup match in the future. Jordan Devlin, Wolfgang was set up, and Mark Coffey and Charles Samuels. My favourite point of this segment was Noam Dar threatening to call the police, but because Charles Samuels runs an illegal gambling ring, as we've seen, he did not want the police being called. I thought that was very funny. There was a nice video package for Kenny Williams setting up his match with Sam Gradwell next week. Kenny Williams has been absolutely fantastic as a heel. We then continued with the Stars and Mastiff team, as Stars looks like he's going to try and earn Dave's respect and get a bomber jacket. Could be a nice storyline. A-Kid took on Saxon Huxley. I originally didn't care about this, but it was actually a really good match. I gave it 3.25 stars. Actually, surprisingly good match. A-Kid managed to pull something out of Saxon here. Very good back and forth, and A-Kid picked up the victory. After the match, it was kind of teased an A-Kid and Charlie Dempsey match, and yes, hook that to my veins, please. Tio-Man took on Nathan Frazier in the main event. 3 3/4, a great match, nice neck work from Tio-Man, but a surprise win from Nathan Frazier. In this one, his first win in forever. Great match, great main event, great episode. Smackdown. A pretty fun episode of Smackdown. This was actually a really good episode. Very entertaining show. Very entertaining show. We open with stuff with Sonya Deville and Naomi, and I couldn't care less. But outside of their stuff, they also had the main event, Naomi taking on Charlotte. Didn't watch it, don't care, not interested. The Sonya Deville-Naomi feud is continuing, and it's going to continue at Mania, isn't it? Elimination Chamber, it will be Naomi and Ronda Rousey taking on Charlotte and Sonya Deville. Okay. But the rest of the show was entertaining. Los Lotharios, with a new entrance, as they have a kiss cam now with an obvious plant. They took on the New Day again for a rematch from last week. And yeah, these two teams have great chemistry with each other. And this was a great match, as you'd expect them to have after last week. Another 3.5 star match. Definitely points where I thought both teams could win. But in the end, Los Lotharios actually picked up the W, which I'm very happy about. And I'm hoping they get a sustained push now, because Los Lotharios, I think they're a very charismatic, good tag team, and they're great wrestlers in the ring as well. So happy to see them pick up a victory here. We then had a excellent interview segment with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. Roman is an absolute king on the mic. He said, if Roman Reigns was in WCW, WCW would still be in business. Damn. He's right though. Roman Reigns is money. He is walking, talking money. He kind of dismissed Goldberg and said that he's going to Goldberg. He also dismissed Brock Lesnar as old news. They've got to be doing Roman Lesnar at Mania. I can't see Goldberg winning. Aaliyah took on Natalya for the fourth time in a Dungeon Rules match. 2.5 stars. They only got a few minutes, but it was actually pretty decent while it happened. Aaliyah is much better on SmackDown than she was in NXT, like a lot better. And yeah, really fun stuff. Good match. Aaliyah's protected as Natalya won with the sharpshooter, but Aaliyah did get the ropes, but there was no rope breaks. So in a normal match, Aaliyah would have been able to survive that, but because of the rules, Aaliyah had to tap out. So Aaliyah's kind of protected there. So I get what they were trying to do with protecting her there. Natalya picks up the victory. Xia Li, she then beat up Aaliyah after the match, but Xia Li, the protector, came down to protect Aaliyah. Obviously, Natalya needed the W, so to set up Natalya and Xia Li and put Xia Li over. We then had a segment with Sami Zayn, his Insane podcast with Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs. Pretty fun segment, very entertaining. Sami Zayn, hilarious. He was making fun of Rick Boogs. Rick Boogs tried to shout at Sami Zayn, but as soon as he touched the mic, he got electrocuted. Sami acted as if he didn't know what happened, then gave a haluva kick to Shinsuke Nakamura, and then continued to be concerned and say that he didn't know what happened. Brilliant from Sami Zayn. Cesaro took on Happy Corbin next in the first time ever matchup on TV. They had 2 house show matches in 2016, but this is the first time they've ever faced off on TV, which is really unique, as they've been around for ages, both of them. 3 stars. It was actually a really good match. I hope that they have a rematch one day and get given more time, because in the short time they were given, they seemed to have good chemistry and had a good little match. Corbin won with the unkickable out of End of Days. Then there was a backstage segment between Drew and Madcap Moss, as Madcap Moss was getting checked out by the doctor because he had a black eye. But the match with him and Drew will still continue, but it will now be Falls Count Anywhere, which is actually much better than the original match. Sit down promo with Goldberg, solid stuff from Goldberg. Very believable that he makes it believable that he's going to win. I hope he doesn't, even though I'm a fan of Goldberg. I hope he doesn't beat Roman, but it builds up nice drama for it. So yeah, pretty fun episode of SmackDown. I enjoyed it. Monday Night Raw. This was a decent episode of Monday Night Raw. It got better as it went on, but let's get into what happened on the show. So we opened with a pretty fun segment. It was Bobby Lashley and MVP first cutting a promo. Excuse the wind as well. It's a very windy day here in England, so just excuse if you hear some background noise of that. But it was a fun opening segment with all the Elimination Chamber participants. Riddle in his toga, inviting everyone to his toga party, was hilarious. Austin Theory then tried to attack Brock Lesnar from behind, and it went about as well as you'd thought. Very stupid move. He got German suplexed and F5'd, and Riddle jumped out of the ring, clean over the top rope to the floor within a second of it. We then got the Street Profits taking on the Dirty Dogs in a pretty fun match. It only went a few minutes. Really, it was more for Tommaso Ciampa on commentary and to continue his feud with Dolph Ziggler on NXT. He threw a cup in Dolph Ziggler's face, and the Profits beat Bobby Roode to pick up the victory. There were some Alexa Bliss segments. She's definitely back to her old self, but still with Lily, because you need that merch money. She will be the final participant in the Elimination Chamber match. I don't think she'll win. I think she has a possibility, though. She definitely makes it more interesting and unpredictable. Omos squashed Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin in a mid-segment. And Damian Priest took on AJ Styles in, again, another good match. I give it 3 stars. I did like the finish, kind of. I didn't like the result, but I liked the finish, that it was a play on the previous week's match. But Priest retained, and I think AJ should have won here. Wasn't a huge fan of it. The 24/7 stuff with Reggie, Dana, Tozawa, Tamina, and Truth was actually pretty fun this week. So there was like a romantic relationship between Reggie and Dana, kind of. Dana friend-zoned Reggie, and Reggie then said, seemed to be fine with it, then rolled up Dana to pick up the victory and take his title back, leaving Dana heartbroken on Valentine's Day. The Becky Lynch and Lita segment, the contract signing, was excellent and really well done. I thoroughly enjoyed their segment. Both these two were excellent on the mic and had some great lines. I would definitely go on YouTube and check out this segment, because this was really, really well done between both of them. Becky seems to have gone a bit crazy. But we'll see where her character goes in the next few weeks. But this is going to be a really good match. Maybe. I said at first it was going to be horrible, but Lita's kind of won me over with these segments. The quality of the match, well, I guess we'll see. But if anyone can pull Lita to a great match, it's going to be Becky. We had a women's gauntlet match, which I gave 4 stars, my match of the night. Rhea Ripley with a star performance. So she first faced Nikki Ash. Decent stuff, decent squash for Rhea. Then it was time of Liv Morgan, and they had a really good match against each other. Really good performance from both of them. Rhea picked up the win there again. Then it was Rhea Ripley versus Doudrop, and they had another nice heavyweight battle. So really good stuff there. And then it was Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair, and they had a excellent 20-minute match. They went all out, and Bianca picked up the victory in the end. Definitely check this one out. Then we had the Broga party with RK Bro. Orton did not want to attend. It was pretty funny. Riddle even played like acoustic guitar at one point, because was it UK? He played something. He played an instrument. It was quite funny, and then he got attacked by the Alpha Academy to continue their feud. Speaking of Alpha Academy, they cut a really nice promo on the Mysterios. Gable is just absolutely amazing at his job. and they took on the Mysterios. 3.5 stars, very good match. Really enjoyed it. Alpha Academy picked up the winner as you'd expect, but Mysterios looked good in defeat. It also set up Rey and Miz at Elimination Chamber, which should be a great match. The main event was Randy Orton taking on Seth Rollins. 3 3/4, just a great wrestling match to end the show. Orton got distracted near the end by the Academy, which caused Rollins to hit a stomp and pick up the victory. So Orton is protected there, but a phenomenal match. Randy Orton is just one of the best in the world. And so is Seth Rollins, of course. But yeah, enjoyable episode. TJPW. TJPW Positive Chain took place on the 11th of February, and it was quite a disappointing show, to be honest. It wasn't bad, but it was okay. It was fine. Unamanase is going to take place at Grand Princess on the 19th of March. I knew that was going to happen. It's pretty obvious. She had great energy. She looked like she was going to burst a blood vessel by screaming Gambaro Pro. Then she walked off singing her theme song, which was great. Up Girls then performed, but no Hikari Noah, who was absent from this show, I believe because COVID or something. But a fun performance always from the Up Girls, from Miyu and Raku. We opened with Moka Miyamoto taking on Arisu Endo. 3.25 stars. They only got 6 minutes. Unfortunately, they were shortchanged in time, but what they were given, they did well in. Arisu Endo hit a top rope drop kick, so she was standing on the second rope and then jumped up to the top and hit a top rope drop kick. Insanely cool. There was great drama with the camel clutch from Endo, but Moka managed to get the ropes and then locked in her submission to pick up the victory. But yeah, a decent opener, and again, I think they'll have a match later in the year and it'll be brilliant, and hopefully given more time. The second match was Asuka/Veni teaming up with Haruna Neko and Kaya Toribami to take on Ram Kaichou, Mahiro Kiryu, and Hyper Mizawa. Mizawa obviously got the mic before the match. Veni then, she offered a mask to Veni, but Veni stepped on the mask. There were some cringe segments with Ram Kaichou, I just don't get it. But I absolutely love Haruna Neko. She was on fire in this match, scratching everyone with her paws. New hero face lock from Mizawa, so it's kind of just, I don't know how you explain it, like a chin lock sort of thing, but with the hero pose, which is quite cool. Really unique move, and it's a good move. As usual, there was a chaotic ending as all 6 got involved, and Mizawa pinned Kaya Toribami. Okay match, bit of cringe segments, but Haruna Neko was great in this one. I give it 2 3/4. It was a fine match, but nothing out of this world. Very skippable, really. Next up was Suzume taking on Yuki Arai, and I heard really good things about this match, but I watched it and it was a good match. Solid match, but nothing really special. At one point in the match, Suzume pinned Arai for the 3 count, but because Arai just didn't kick out at all, but the ref just stopped counting. Pretty poor there from Yuki Arai. It was a nice back and forth match, but nothing out of this world. As I said, I give it 3 stars. It was fine. Poor Suzume though. New and Bashiki Gun made their return, taking on Pom Harajuku and Raku. Very funny stuff and very entertaining stuff in this match. Raku made Mai sleep. Sorry, May sleep. Don't say Mai. She's not Mai Sakurai. Raku made May sleep. Tried it on Saki-sama, but it didn't work. But then, out of nowhere, it did work. Then we got the usual Neo Bashiki Gun antics with May waking up Saki-sama with the ring bell. Then we got the rose to the face. And then we got the plate falling on the plate. Raku actually got quite a lot of offense in, which I didn't expect. He actually held her own in there against Neo Bashiki Gun. So did Pom as well, but Raku mainly. And yeah, this was a really fun and surprisingly close match. I give it 3.5 stars. surprisingly much better than I thought it would be. We then had Miyu, Marika, and now Kakata in a 6-woman tag against Shoko Nakajima and Majirabi. Shoko had a new haircut, making her look like a 12-year-old boy, to be honest. It was a fun tag match. A lot of interaction between Yuka and Marika, and Miyu and Shoko. That left Kakata with Mizuki. They went a chaotic ending as you expect. Miyu scuffed the skull kick on Shoko, and there was a nice ending segment between Yuka and Marika. In the end, though, Yuka pinned Marika for the victory. 3 1/4 stars. Solid tag match, but ultimately pointless and skippable. But still very good action. The semi-final was Maki Ito defending the International Princess Championship against Yuki Kamifuku. There was a nice story between Ito and Kamyu in this one as their best friends, and Kamyu wanting to prove herself. A lot of viciousness. There was a slam on the outside on Kamyu, brutal stuff there. And so the match was really going well. And then they did, out of nowhere, decided to do a comedy phone spot with, I believe, Maki Ito's mother calling or something. Just unneeded and dumb, and it ruined the flow of the match. And this is meant to be a serious wrestling match, and then you do that halfway through, and then I'm supposed to take you serious after that? Just a stupid, pointless spot. It really ruined the flow of the match, ruined it completely. Disappointing. In the end, Ito won, but who cares? It was a joke of a match anyway. I mean, I'm going to give it 3.5 stars just because it could have been great, but yeah, the comedy stuff ruined it. And that's just disappointing. A very disappointing match. Hakuchamu in the main event taking on the Bakaretsu sisters, with the winners taking on Majirabi at Grand Princess. And this was match night easy. They got 20 minutes. It flew by. Very good performance from all 4 here. I really enjoyed Miyu Watanabe as usual. I gave it 3 3/4. A great match, non-stop action for the 20 minutes, and very entertaining. But there was nothing super good, nothing out of this world, but just very good action throughout. And the right winners won. Hakuchamu picked up the victory, and hopefully they beat Majirabi on the 19th of March. The other match set up for the 19th of March, so we know Ram Kaicha will make an appearance. Yuki Arai will take on Maki Ito for the title, International Princess title. And then the final match announced so far is Hikaru Shida taking on Hikari Noah. If I'm being honest, I couldn't care less about that match. Sorry, I don't care about Shida, so I don't really care about the match. Is what it is. Stardom. So a couple of things with Stardom. Let's take a look at one of their shows. I believe I can't remember what the date was. It might have been a 6th of February show. Hazuki took on Momo Kogo, and it was a pretty good match. I gave it 3 1/4 stars. Decent match, good showing for Momo Kogo, and a good win for Hazuki. And Momo Kogo is just continuously adorable. We now understand that with Mina Shirakawa and Unagi Sayaka, Pink Kabuki, one of their catchphrases is Jaggy. So definitely going to be saying that a lot. And Mina Shirakawa has that star aura in her matches. And it was Mina versus Unagi versus Hanan, and it was actually a really, really fun match. I really enjoyed it. 3.5 stars, probably my match of the night for that show. Just really funny and entertaining, and Mina and Unagi are brilliant and had some great moments in it. And then with Koguma and Raka, 2 1/4 stars. QQ versus DDM, 3.5 stars. And then the main event was Ueda Tai versus Don Mondo, 2 3/4. The only thing good about that was them Ueda Tai listing all their delicacies they ate, and then Saki Kashima just saying that she ordered McDonald's from Uber Eats. Living her best life.
Bye bye. Niku, Kabuki, Jackie!
Then we had on the 13th of February, I believe, they had another show. So I only watched a couple of the matches, only the first 3 matches. Mina and Waka are the best tag team of all time. Facts. And Wack, I swear, any Wack match, you get like 30 memes from it. So memeable. I got Wacka's confused and her thinking pose and her anger pose. So many cool moments. And you heard it here first, I think Micah is going to join Cosmic Angels because she is obsessed with Mina's breasts. She just is. It's hilarious to see. Also, I adore Koguma. Just wanted to point that out. Koguma is just absolutely adorable. So it was great to see the return of the Wack. Not return of the Mac, return of the Wack. Amazing to see. Also, there was big news. Mai Sakurai quit Cosmic Angels and joined Donna Del Mondo, making Waka cry. Therefore, she is now the biggest heel in wrestling. Boo, Mai Sakurai. How dare you do that to the Wack? And I hope the Wack gets revenge. Also, March 11th, New Blood 1. The first 3 matches were announced, and it's very boring for me. Saya Kamitani and Lady C taking on Mirai and Mai Sakurai. Meh. Unagi and Waka, Cosmic Eels, taking on Maria and Ihuzan. Don't care. And Starlight Kid will be teaming with someone to take on Haruka Umasaki and someone else. Is what it is. Not hugely interested in it. Some other news. There is a rumour that Stone Cold Steve Austin could have a small chance of coming back and wrestling one more match at WrestleMania in his home state of Texas. If he does, I'm expecting it to be Kevin Owens in a singles match, which would be awesome. But yeah, I think that would be really cool to see Stone Cold back in the ring one more time. What? It will be very fun, and I hope it happens. I would love to see that. Also, Cody has apparently left AEW. I don't buy this. I think he'll just return in a few weeks. There's rumours that he'll go to WWE. I highly doubt that. But I guess time will tell, and we'll see. But I expect he'll stay. And I don't want to see him in WWE. He can piss off, to be honest. He's mid as hell. Question time. Let's answer some questions, and we'll kick it off with Kiwi's questions. Favourite non-WWE pay-per-view? So I thought about this. It's probably going to be from Stardom, and I think the best one was Yokohama Dream Cinderella in spring. I believe that had a Donna Del Mondo versus Donna Del Mondo main event, which was awesome, and just pretty much most of the card was stacked, and an awesome show. Stardom's my favourite Stardom pay-per-view, and outside of WWE, probably the only company with great pay-per-views. I mean, there was a couple of decent WCW ones, but yeah, this one stood out. Promotions you want to get into? I'm pretty comfortable with the promotions I watch right now, but if I had to add more, I would probably say Pure J or Wave. Maybe I'll sign up to Pure J's streaming service, maybe. And Wave is quite hard to get into, but if I had to list one or two, it would be them two. Favourite non-wrestling show? The IT Crowd. I'm a huge fan of comedy, especially British comedy, but IT Crowd was something my friend recommended to me, and it's the funniest thing, especially Douglas in it. Greatest character, my goodness, he's so funny. Definitely check that out online if you can. Great stuff. Ventura asked a couple of questions. Favourite TJPW match? Surprising, I'm going to go with Rika Tatsumi versus Miyu Watanabe from Positive Chain 2021. Such a phenomenally well worked match. Great selling, great storytelling. Just a phenomenal championship match. felt like a big match, and they delivered on all aspects. I really loved that one. Favourite Stardom match? I think that's really tough to say, because I've given quite a few 5 stars to Stardom, but I'm going to list 3 of my top ones, but I can't pick just one, sorry. Io Shirai versus Mayu Iwatani from Stardom Year End Climax 2016. Arisa Hoshiki versus Tam Nakano from Shining Destiny 2019. And Julia versus Tam Nakano at All-Star Cinderella 2021, the hair versus hair match. Those 3, definitely going out of your way to find those matches. Favourite Wrestle Kingdom main event? Marwan, your favourite Joshi match of all time? What a loaded question. But if I just had to pick one, Aji Kong versus Manami Toyota from Big Egg 1994. I think a lot of people would say this match, and I'm saying it too because it deserves that praise. Phenomenal stuff. Your predictions for the Elimination Chamber. So, as of recording, there is 8 matches announced for the show. Looks like a pretty damn good show. We got Rey Mysterio and The Miz. I'm expecting Rey to win that one. Ronda Rousey and Naomi versus Charlotte, Flair and Sonya Deville. I expect Ronda and Naomi probably win that one. Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair versus Doudrop versus Nikki Ash versus Alexa Bliss, with the winner receiving a Raw Women's Championship match at WrestleMania 38. I expect Bianca Belair will win that one. Small chance for Alexa Bliss, but I think Bianca's gonna win it. Drew McIntyre, Madcap Moss, Falls Count Anywhere. Drew's going to kill him. Usos versus Viking Raiders. I expect the Usos to retain here. Becky Lynch and Lita. I expect Becky will retain. WWE Championship. Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, Seth frickin' Rollins, Austin Theory, Riddle, and AJ Styles. I'm going to go with an outsider. I'm going to go with Seth Rollins. I think Seth Rollins wins the title. Call me crazy, but I just think I've got a hunch that he might win it. And a big match, Roman Reigns, Goldberg for the Universal Championship. I fully expect Roman Reigns to pick up the W here. But yeah, looks like a great show, so I'm excited for it. Saray for champ, my bestest friend. Favourite thing to do in your free time besides watching wrestling? Watch more wrestling. Favourite wrestling... Okay, I'll watch it. Probably watching comedy, British comedy. Some of my favourite comedians, Jimmy Carr, Ricky Gervais, just named Tim Vine, Michael McIntyre. A lot of funny comedians, they're the ones that probably watch the most. Favourite wrestling pay-per-view. So I look back and I can't list one, so I'm going to list 5, because, well, it's my show, I can do what I want. In Your House Canadian Stampede 1997, SummerSlam 2002, and 3 WrestleManias, WrestleMania 19, 21 and 30. Go check any of those pay-per-views out, they're all phenomenal. You are challenging for the tag titles and you get to choose your partner. Anyone. Who you picking? Triple H. Pretty easy decision for me. I pick Triple H. Thank you for listening to the Decent Wrestling Show. Make sure to like, comment, share and subscribe.
짠해.